Hi everyone, my name's Ed Hicks and I run the London Musical Choir and the Trad Academy. The London Musical Choir is a non-audition community choir. We meet every Monday night and we sing songs from the music halls. Of course, we haven't been able to do that for last year. We've been doing that on Zoom, so we've taken our singing online, but we're really looking forward to getting back together and singing in real life again. So this year for St George's Day, Tower Hamlets have asked me to put together a selection of music hall songs for you to enjoy and sing along with at home. If you haven't heard of music halls, these were venues for sort of music and entertainment in the 19th century. They were sort of halfway between a theatre and a pub. So people would sit, the chairs would be placed around tables, people would sit and eat and drink, but whilst they'd watch acts come on stage and do various sort of acts. But particularly these songs that now make this sort of repertoire we call musical songs. And they were popular between about 1850 and World War II. Now, musical songs can be sentimental, they can be serious, they can be satirical, but they're often very funny and playful. And one of the things that I really love about them is the way they give us a kind of unique snapshot of what ordinary life must have been a bit like for all the people in the big cities of the 19th century, like London and Glasgow and various other places where people had been living for a relatively short amount of time, experiencing all these new parts of life. They give a kind of unique view into ordinary life. One of my favourite things about it is when you come across a song that's got a joke in it or an innuendo or a bit of wordplay that might have been written 150 years ago, but it's still funny and it still makes you laugh or raises a smile now, that you still see these kind of recognisable tropes that still exist in London and other places today. Now, a lot of music hall songs are associated with London, but actually there were music halls all up and down the country, and there were performers from other parts of England and the rest of the UK too. So you've got people like George Formby Senior, who's George Formby, the ukulele player's dad. He was from Lancashire. And you've got Harry Lauder from Scotland and other people like that. One of the ways the music hall songs still stayed alive today in popular imagination and consciousness is through them kind of transferring from being a kind of theatre tradition into becoming sort of a folk vernacular tradition in the form of pub sing-alongs. So a lot of the songs you might imagine going on in a kind of pub sing-along around a piano, a lot of those songs are actually musical songs. Songs like Don't Dilly Dally on the Way, Any Old Iron, Down at the Old Bull and Bush, they all had their origins in these 19th century music halls and were performed by people on these stages. A lot of these melodies and these songs now, when they're sung, we only ever get to hear the choruses, which is a great shame because there's some really great bits of lyric and wordplay in the verses that largely get forgotten now. So one of the things I'm hoping to do through this video and through the choir is to bring back the melodies and the words of these verses for you to enjoy. So let's get on with it and do some songs. A quick caveat, I've lowered the keys of some of these songs to try and be democratic and put them in a key that will work both for male and female voices. So they're a little bit lower than they might be if you were singing them on stage. Hopefully that means you can join in at home, have fun, and here come the songs. Now, the first song on our sing-along is one of the most famous musical songs of all time, Don't Dilly Dally on the Way. This was made famous by Mary Lloyd and tells the tale of a family who have to move house in the middle of the night because they can no longer afford the rent. The protagonist in the song dawdles and dilly-dallies and gets distracted, and by the end of the journey, she's had to walk behind the cart because it's so filled with all their possessions. She's got lost and then she doesn't know how to find her way home. There's some great lines in the verses, again, which are much less well-known than the chorus. My favourite one has to be, you'll understand, of course, I was cross about the loss, which is a great bit of wordplay and fun. So I hope you enjoy singing Don't Dilly Dally on the Way. We had to move away 'cause the rent we couldn't pay. The moving van came round just after dark. There was me and my old man shoving things inside the van, which we've often done before, let me remark. We packed all that could be packed in the van, and that's a fact. And we got inside all we could get inside. And then we packed all we could pack in the tailboard at the back, till there wasn't enough room for me to ride. My old man said follow the van and don't dilly-dally on the way. Off went the cart with me own packed in it. I walked behind with me old cockle in it. I dillied and dallied, dallied and dillied, lost my way and don't know where to roam. Oh, you can't trust the specials like the old time coppers when you can't find your way home. I gave an helping hand with the marble wash hand stand, and straight we wasn't getting on so bad, when all at once the carman bloke had an accident and broke the nicest bit of china that we had. You'll understand, of course, I was cross about the loss, same as any other human would. But we soon got over that, what with two out and a chat, 'cause there's little things like that that does you good. My old man said follow the van and don't dilly-dally on the way. Off went the cart with me own packed in it. I walked behind with me old cockle in it. I dillied and dallied, dallied and dillied, lost my way and don't know where to roam. Oh, you can't trust the specials like the old time coppers when you can't find your way home. Oh, I'm in such a mess, I don't know the new address, don't even know the blessed neighbourhood. And I feel as if I might have to stay out all the night, and that ain't gonna do me any good. Oh, I don't make no complaint, but I'm coming over faint. What I want now is a good substantial feed, and I sorta kinda feel if I don't soon have a meal, I shall have to rob the linnet of his seed. My old man said follow the van and don't dilly-dally on the way. Off went the cart with me own packed in it. I walked behind with me old cockle in it. I dillied and dallied, dallied and dillied, lost my way and don't know where to roam. Oh, you can't trust the specials like the old time coppers when you can't find your way home. Oh, you can't trust the specials like the old time coppers when you can't find your way home. So spring is here and the sun is shining, which means it's a nice time to go on holiday. Foreign holidays are still a bit restricted right now with the COVID-19 restrictions, but it's increasingly looking like it could be a great British seaside summer for everyone. So what better time to revisit the musical song I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside, and remind us all that going to the seaside on a train for the day, going down to Margate or up to Blackpool, has been something that people have been doing for at least 150 years, and all the familiar fun and japes that can happen down there. So this is I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside. Everyone delights to spend their summer holiday down beside the side of the silvery sea. I'm no exception to the rule, in fact if I'd my way, I'd reside by the side of the silvery sea. But when you're just your common old garden smith or Jones or Brown, had business up in town, you've got to settle down. You save up all the money you can till summer comes around, then away you go to a spot you know where the cockle shells are found. Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. Oh, I do like to be beside the sea. Oh, I do like to stroll upon the prom, 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 where the brass bands play tiddly-om, pom, pom. So just let me be beside the seaside. I'll be beside myself with glee. And there's lots of girls beside I should like to be beside the seaside, beside the sea. Timothy went to Blackpool for the day last Easter tide, to see what he could see by the side of the sea. Soon as he reached the station there, the first thing he espied was the wine lodge door stood open invitingly. To quench his thirst he toddled inside and called out for the wine, which grew to 8 or 9, till his nose began to shine. Said he, what people see in the sea, I'm surely failed to see. So he caught the train back home again, and to his wife said he, oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. Oh, I do like to be beside the sea. Oh, I do like to stroll upon the prom, where the brass band plays tiddly-om, pom, pom. So just let me be beside the seaside. I'll be beside myself with glee. And there's lots of girls beside. I should like to be beside the seaside, beside the sea. William Sykes the burglar, he'd been out to work one night, filled his bag with jewels and cash and plate. Constable Brown felt quite surprised when William hove in sight. Said he, the hours you're keeping are far too late. So grabbed him by the collar and lodged him safe and sound in jail. Next morning, looking pale, Bill told a tearful tale. The judge said, for a couple of months I'm sending you away. Said Bill, how kind, well if you don't mind where I spend my holiday. Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. I do like to be beside the sea. Oh, I do like to stroll upon the prom, where the brass bands play tiddly-om, pom, pom. So just let me be beside the seaside. I'll be beside myself with glee. And there's lots of girls beside. I should like to be beside the seaside, beside the sea. And there's lots of girls beside. I should like to be beside the seaside, beside the sea. So many of the music halls had sadly closed by the mid-20th century, but lots of the ideas and jokes and even song names that were created in the music halls still lived on. One example of this is this next song. So there was a music hall song called The Lambeth Walk, but the melody's less catchy and it's less well known than the version we chose to do, which is from the musical, as in musical, not music hall, My Fair Lady from 1937. As I said, the choir's not been able to meet and sing in real life, sadly, all this last year. So we decided to put together a Zoom choir performance for you of us singing our own arrangement of The Lambeth Walk. Oi!
Anytime you're Lambeth way, any evening, any day, you'll find us all doing the Lambeth Walk. Oi! Every little Lambeth cow with her little Lambeth pal, you'll find us all doing the Lambeth Walk. Oi! Everything's free and easy, do as you darn well pleasing. Why don't you make your way there? Go there, stay there. Once you get down Lambeth Way, any evening, any day, you'll find us all doing the Lambeth Walk. Anytime you're Lambeth, down Lambeth, any evening, any Lambeth, you'll find us all doing the Lambeth Walk. Oi! Every little Lambeth, she's Lambeth, with her little Lambeth, he's Lambeth, you'll find us all doing the Lambeth Walk. Everything's free and easy, do as you darn well pleasing. Why don't you make your way there? Go there, stay there. Once you get down Lambeth, any evening, any Lambeth, you'll find us all doing the Lambeth, doing the Lambeth, doing the Lambeth Walk. Oi!
Now the next song is another one where you may well already know the tune to the chorus, but perhaps you didn't know that it was originally a music hall song. It's Daisy Daisy, the song about a bicycle made for two and a couple who get married on a bicycle because they can't afford a carriage. This song was popular on both sides of the Atlantic and also managed to become famous by being the first song sung by a computer when IBM used it in which year? 1964. IBM got a computer to sing the song. So the first ever piece of music sung by a computer was Daisy Daisy. Stanley Kubrick also referenced this in his film Space Oddity. There's some great verses here, so I hope you enjoy them. They've got a lovely melody. Sing along, join in, have fun. There is a flower within my heart, Daisy, Daisy, planted one day by a glancing dart, planted by Daisy Bell. Whether she loves me or loves me not, sometimes it's hard to tell. Still I am longing to share the lot of a beautiful Daisy Bell. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle made for two. We will go tandem as man and wife, Daisy, Daisy, peddling away down the road of life, I and my Daisy Bell. When the road's dark we can both despise policemen and lamps as well. There are bright lights in the dazzling eyes of beautiful Daisy Bell. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look neat upon the seat of a bicycle made for two. I will stand by you in weal or woe, Daisy, Daisy, you'll be the bell which I ring, you know, sweet little Daisy Bell. You'll take the lead in each trip we take, then if I don't do well, I will permit you to use the brake, my beautiful Daisy Bell. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look neat upon the seat of a bicycle made for two. So for our last song of the Ding Dong, I thought I'd treat you to a more obscure song. This song is The Honeysuckle and the Bee, but it's not the normal version of The Honeysuckle and the Bee, which is a kind of romantic love song with a chorus along the lines of "You are my honey, honeysuckle, I'll be your bee." This is a parody and a reworking by singer Ben Albert, who chooses instead to imagine how first a butcher and then a greengrocer might express their love to the object of their affections. There's one particularly archaic piece of slang in this song, which is the term mash, which means to flirt with. So in the line, if the driver of a bus tries to mash a pretty nurse, it means that the bus driver is just flirting with the nurse. And it's followed up by a chorus, which has lots of great wordplay on London place names, which I feel like London residents might enjoy. The next verse is more universal and all about a greengrocer and also lots of fun. So when the choir meet in real life, we get to sing songs in harmony. This is made a lot harder on Zoom for various logistical reasons. So I thought for this last song, I'd hand over to the choir themselves and send you a recording that was made in Tower Hamlets at St Botolph's Church at their winter fair, which was, I think this was a couple of Christmases ago, because it can't have been last Christmas, obviously. And this is the choir performing The Honeysuckle and the Bee in St Botolph's in Aldgate. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching the Ding Dong. And if you are interested in coming to the choir, drop me an email. The choir's got a website, londonmusicalchoir.co.uk. You can find me, edhicksbanjo.com, all these things. Get in contact, send me a message, and you can come and join us for our Ding Dong, either online or in real life. Thanks for watching.